we call ourselves the digital face of the plant-based community and the one-stop shop for everything plant-based. The idea is basically to have a massive e-commerce platform and all kind of plant-based products and services under one umbrella.
Welcome to the My Future Business Show, where we get you in front of your best audience and keep you there. Not only are we interviewing the biggest names in business to help you become even more successful, we're inviting you to book your spot on the show to help you grow your business. So at the end of the call, make sure you fill in the interview application form at myfuturebusiness.com/interviews. Hi, and welcome back to the My Future Business Show. My name's Rick Nuske. I'm your host. Thank you very much for joining us today. Now, I've got a very exciting call lined up for you today because I'm on the line with Julia Frank. She's the CEO of PlantX. Welcome to the show, Julia.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Now, you and I were just talking a little bit about PlantX and all of the wonderful things that are going on in the business. It's very, very exciting. But before we jump into the core of the call, Julia, I always spend some time to learn a little bit about my guest. And I'd love to do the same with you if that would be okay.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, well, look, I like to start off by asking you, where do you live when you're not working as such?
So I'm originally from Germany. So right now I'm based in Munich in Germany. I'm originally from Munich as well. And that's where I spend most of the time. But let's see. It's not so easy with the time difference since the company is based in Canada and we operate in Canada and the US. So I'm about to transition more into that direction.
Yeah, fantastic. You and I were talking earlier. You're currently in transition and you're in Mexico, is that right?
It's right, exactly.
Yeah, and you have like this 2-week window where you have to sort of stay in one spot. It's quite difficult for people that I've spoken with to go through that process. How are you finding that?
I mean, it's interesting. We still have these regulations, makes it quite difficult to travel. So like you said, I have to stay out of Europe for 2 weeks before I'm allowed to enter to the US. So that's the reason why I'm in Mexico right now. And I mean, it's not the worst place to spend some time. So it's okay. It's also really cold in Germany right now. So I'm grateful that I can be here and also work from here. So it's not a problem at all. As long as I have an internet connection, that's actually the most important thing for me. I don't care about anything. I just need a good internet connection. And it's good.
It's a wonderful time to live in, isn't it, with technology where we can have this mobility and choose to work where we can and where we need to. It's wonderful. Now, I also love to ask you a little bit about your hobbies and sports. Do you follow any sports? Are you involved in sports? What do you do?
So actually, my biggest passion is horseback riding. I grew up with horses, so I got my first pony when I was a little child, and honestly, I still think this is like the most exciting and best day in my life. I remember that so much, and I'm so grateful that my parents got me the chance to grow up with many animals, like especially horses and dogs. And so since I'm little, I practiced horseback riding. I also have like a trainer's license. When I was younger and had like more time, I was giving riding lessons. So that's a big passion. But it's a little bit difficult when you're traveling a lot and work a lot because usually, I was like kind of on a professional level. So I used to own horses. And when you don't have that much time anymore and travel a lot, it's obviously not possible to own horses. Mm-hmm. It's not like, I just go for a run. Like that's you really need to dedicate yourself, and, you have to have like a lot of time for that. So unfortunately, right now, especially since I'm not like in one place all the time and about to like move somewhere else, like away from Germany, it's really hard to follow that, but that's definitely my passion. So I hope that anytime soon I can follow my passion again and be back in horseback riding.
Hop back in the saddle.
But besides that, sorry?
Hop back in the saddle, as it were.
Exactly, back in the saddle. But besides that, I love to do yoga and Pilates, and I love to go for a run. So these are the things that I do for at least like 3 or 4 times per week, especially yoga. That's like also part of like my morning routine. That's super important to me. So otherwise I'm I need to get rid of my energy at some point, and it just makes me feel so much better. So I think that's really, really important.
Yeah, it's incredibly important to move your body, and it's no surprise to me that you are involved with Plantex because of these very reasons, and we will talk about that in some depth later on in the call, Julia. But when you were growing up and you were around horses, you would obviously had to have had a lot of space. Was it like a farm environment that you grew up on?
So I grew up more in a smaller village, and I mean we didn't like own a farm or something, but I would have my horses as a farm. So my parents would like drive me. It's basically like a riding ranch, if you call it like that in English. Since I was like kind of on professional level, like this was like really like a equestrian center with like all the facilities. I was actually like focusing a lot on jumping. So you need like you need all the equipment, and you really need like a professional surrounding. And I had like great trainers. Like one of my trainers, she was actually participating in the Olympics. She won the Olympics in military. So so I was like really into that and very, very passionate about that. At some point, I also wanted to like finish my school and just be like a horseback riding trainer, and my parents said no, that's not gonna happen. So now I'm happy that they forced me to study and finish everything. So
yes, well done. Yes.
But at some point when I was younger, I think when I was like 15, I told my parents I only want to be around horses, and that's gonna be like my my job for the life. But my parents you have to like finish your studies first, and then you can reconsider it again. So I'm glad that they did that, to be honest.
Yes, thank you, Mum and Dad. Now, Julia, you touched on dogs earlier. What types of dogs did you own?
We had a hunting dog. We had hunting dogs actually. Fantastic. So it's a German hunting dog.
I'm a German Rottweiler lover. We've just bought ourselves a puppy, and gee, they're hard work.
They are extremely hard work, and the interesting part about that one is actually we rescued that dog, and the dog was actually like beaten by an older guy, and the guy like really mistreated the dog, and then we rescued the dog, and the dog didn't have any hunting intentions at all. So we thought, okay, that's gonna be like easy because not interested into hunting or like chasing birds or rabbits. But then as soon as like we kind of healed him from his fear. Like everything came back, and then we like really had to train him hard, because otherwise these dogs, and they need a lot of you need to take care of them well, and like go for like very long walks, but they are great dogs, so beautiful dogs too. So I
love taking this bit of a diversion of the course, because it helps to know about you, I think, more so than just what you are in a business in terms of being a CEO, which I'm very excited about talking about in a moment. But when you were younger, do you remember the first book that you ever read, and what impression did it leave with you?
I think it was I hope I say the title right. I think it was The Little Prince. And I don't know, like I think like exploring the world was always like a kind of a topic to me. So I remember that it was always like in my head, especially also when I was like reading books, and like being open and being nice to other people, and like being open to new situations, new cultures, and like traveling the world. I remember, like, for example, I mean, just to give you one example, it's actually interesting. I was just like talking to a friend about it. When I finished my high school with 18, the first day after I finished high school, I moved to Malta all by myself. So I always wanted to leave Germany and work abroad and like be in like different cultures. So this is like something I've always had the intention to like travel the world and like experience new things. So that's like really a thing which is like kind of part of my life, to be honest.
Yes, absolutely. You do a lot of travel, and in between time, in the meantime, do you have any downtime, and how important is that for you?
Sorry, what's that?
Do
I did
you,
not
like
understand.
when you're traveling and I assume that would be somewhat highly energized, somewhat stressing role. Do you find that it's important to break away from that and have some downtime, some quiet time alone by yourself?
I mean, yes. I mean, for sure, you always need like a quiet time and like find to yourself. But I also do like meditation.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually a very social person, but I have my moments that I take really time for myself. Also, when I work out, when I go for a run, I actually prefer to like go for a run by myself.
Yep.
Or when I do yoga, I actually do like yoga by myself. I don't go to like yoga classes. So this is like my alone time and like recharging. And like come back to like my energy level, and it just makes me feel great. And then I'm like totally happy to socialize, and because I'm a very, very social and like open-minded person. So I'm actually, I mean, also grew up with three brothers, so I'm used to a big family. I'm not a person who needs like a lot of alone time, to be honest.
Yeah.
And also it's not just that I'm like constantly traveling. I'm just like more. Like, for example, I've lived in the Bahamas, I've lived in Malta, I've lived in Spain. I'm like more a person who wants to explore a new destination or like new country, but then like really spend time there. And that's very important because I think it's like more stressful when you're like constantly moving around. Like for me, it's like more important to like really, let's say, spend some time in that country and get to know the people, maybe make new friends. That also actually takes time. And it's not just like a 1 week, let's say, vacation or like, just like a little short trip. I usually try to like really stay for a bit in that country. I mean, also like my previous job allowed me to like be in different countries, which is amazing. And then you also like find time to settle down, and it's not, to me it's never stressful. I actually love it. Like for me, that's
your thing.
It's amazing. I know not everyone, my parents sometimes say, hey, how can you do that? Like why don't you want to like stay in one place? But I think that's very it depends very much on your personality. For me, that's like my for me it's like a fulfillment. It's really like I love to like explore new countries and like live in different cultures.
I really appreciate you opening up and sharing this insight into your life. It means so much to me. Thank you. And I know you're a bit of a foodie. Tell us what your favorite food is. I've seen some videos of you creating some amazing things.
To be honest, I love very simple and fresh food. To give you a little bit more background info, so my mom loves to cook, and she's really, really good in cooking. And for her, it was always important to like cook very fresh. Yeah. And she would, for example, like never open up a can or use like, I don't know, like prepared like sauces
processed,
or something. She would do everything from scratch always. And I think that like my body is conditioned to that. So even if I like would eat like processed food or like something out of a can, my body would actually, I just don't feel well afterwards. No. It's the same with like fast food. That's why I never really crave fast food, because I know my brain already knows exactly I'm not feeling well afterwards.
Yep.
So I don't crave it. And that's really like how you grow up. I truly believe it depends how you raise your kids and what you feed your kids. And it's so important to know about nutrition and what to like cook, because that's gonna like follow your whole life basically. And I'm not like looking in. I'm not calorie counting or something. I basically can eat whatever I want, because people ask me, how do you like stay so fit and you don't gain weight? I'm like, it only depends what you eat. Like I mean, obviously, if I would eat potato chips every night, even though they might be plant-based, it doesn't help, because they are obviously not healthy and like full of fat.
Yeah, of course.
So for me, I really enjoy fresh and healthy food. So to come back to your answer, to your question, I love soups. It sounds weird.
No, I love soups.
I love any kind of soup. So I really try to eat a soup every day. It just makes me feel so good, and it's light, but it still fills you. And it's also really easy to cook. I love to cook, but obviously I don't have that much time to cook.
No.
So basically you can just like throw let's say some carrots into a pan, like like fry them a little bit, and then or like cook them a little bit, and then add some water and some vegetable broth and some ginger, some onions, and then you blend the whole thing, and then you have an amazing soup. I mean, some spices.
So simple, isn't it?
It's so easy. And you said you watched like some videos when I was cooking, so that's the whole idea, to like actually show people that it can be so easy to follow a plant-based lifestyle, or let's say even a partly plant-based lifestyle. I'm not forcing anyone to live 100% plant-based lifestyle, but I think it's already like a step in the right direction when you like even just give it a try. And even if it's like just a couple times per week or like once a week, I really want to show how easy it is to cook plant-based meals. So these are like really short videos. They're no longer than like 1 minute, and you can like really see there are not many like crazy ingredients that you can hardly find in the supermarket. They're really simple ingredients and like really easy to make. So there are no excuses anymore.
Thank you.
But it's difficult to create like a plant-based meal. You just have to know how it works. That's the only thing.
Now, it seems to me like a natural fit and progression for you to go from your previous experiences, which I'd love to touch on just for context in a moment, towards PlantX as their CEO. Now, again, for context, where were you professionally prior to PlantX? Would you mind sharing that with the My Future Business audience?
So I was actually working for BMW for almost 5 years, and BMW's headquarters is in Munich. So I'm originally from Munich, so everyone wants to work for BMW in Germany. So I was actually really happy that I got the chance to work for BMW. I did a bachelor's degree in economics and a master's degree in marketing, and I did on top an MBA, and I got the chance. I mean, in Germany, it's really important to have like all these degrees. Otherwise, you don't even have the chance to like enter a company like BMW. I think that's also quite different in the US, because in the US, for example, like no one ever asked me what kind of degrees I hold. Like in Germany, it's I don't know, maybe that's like a cultural
mandatory
thing.
almost.
In like Germany, like everyone would ask you, I think that's like the third question, what kind of degrees or certificates to hold. And you have to have like specific certificates and grades that you are even like allowed to apply for companies like BMW, for example.
Yep.
So I was really happy that I got the chance to work for BMW. Funny enough, I'm not really interested in cars though. So, but I mean,
it's surprising.
It's a great company, and I learned a lot, and I made great achievements there also, like for my personal, I think the most important thing is to actually learn whilst your job. I mean, you can have like 10 certificates and diplomas or whatsoever. If you're not in the like actual working environment, it's probably not gonna help that much to develop your personal and business growth.
Yep.
And so I was really grateful for the chance, and also I moved through BMW to Barcelona, and then to Berlin. BMW actually started a joint venture with Mercedes-Benz Daimler in Berlin, which was a really, really huge thing, because you might think that BMW and Daimler are like the biggest competitors, but they actually started a joint venture for their mobility services. So I was like part of like the department that basically built up this whole division, which was a great chance for me. And but then after, like, to be honest, like after like 4.5 years, I was like, I really want to like change.
And
like really like follow my passion, because like I said, like the automotive industry is definitely not my passion.
Well, you can see again.
It's interesting though, don't get me wrong. But if I would talk about my passion, like it's not my passion.
No, well, look, I was just about to say, you can see why this is a much better fit for you. Now, how was it that you connected with PlantX? Tell us that journey.
So it's actually a really interesting story. So I used to live in the Bahamas for almost 3 years, and Bahamas is like my second home. So I used to go to the Bahamas like every year since I left it, and I have many friends there, and it was always kind of my idea to go back to the Bahamas eventually. Either like starting like your own business or working remotely or working for a Bahamian business. And I told my friends about it. Like every time when I came visiting the Bahamas, like I told my friends, oh, let's see, maybe I come back soon, or maybe like there will like opportunity come up. I mean, you never know, right?
Yeah.
And actually like one friend told me that she knows my now business partner, I mean, Sean Dollinger, who's the founder of Plantex.
Yes.
That she knows him, and she heard about his vision to like start a company which is like all about plant-based nutrition and plant-based lifestyle. And he wants to like create a platform, but he's like still looking for someone who like, you know, he could like build this up together. He was just like basically coming up with the name, and I think by then he only like saved the URL. So that's basically the status of PlantX when I met Sean back then.
Yep.
So it was like in the very, very beginning. So my friend connected me with Sean, and I met Sean, we talked, and he told me about his whole vision, what he wants to do, and we kind of, we directly like connected, and we're like both like so passionate about the project and the vision, and we realized that we're like a great fit, you know, and
yes.
That's basically how it started. And then I made the decision to leave BMW, to leave my secure position, because I mean it was you know, like when you work for BMW, you basically have I had a contract, like even though the BMW wants to get rid of me out of whatever reason, it's not possible. Like I basically had a contract until the end of my life.
Wow.
It's really hard to get, but I had it back then. And even if I would have like gotten kids, they still would have to like pay salary. That's like a kind of a special contract in Germany. And you can imagine when I told my parents, I want to leave BMW and like start this plant-based thing with someone from Canada, they were like, "Are you totally crazy?"
But you are doing what you want to do, and this is a really important thing for people to take away, because you only get one shot at life, don't you?
Exactly, and to be honest, and that's probably my personal, that's probably my success story, or like I would actually say that I'm a big risk taker.
Yeah.
And you have to like take risks at least at a certain point to make things happen. If you always want to like only like go for the solution with the highest security and you know, for the most secure option, I truly believe that you won't be as successful. But I mean, that's at least my personal story so far, because that is like kind of following me my whole life. But it always worked out. So as soon as I have a great feeling about it, and
it's a credit to you for taking this, because I think it's inspirational for the My Future Business audience, because they're made up of startup entrepreneurs, existing small to medium-sized businesses, Julia, and they're looking for people like you to share your wisdom, your knowledge, and your experience. So I really appreciate it. Now, in terms of being a CEO, what is that like? How is that different than everybody else in the business?
I mean, it's interesting how this developed, because you really have to like also look into the let's say the history of the company. So basically, Sean and myself were like the two people that started it, right? And you know, you can imagine when you're just like two people, you basically have to do anything or everything, right?
Everything, yep.
And then you like start to build up a team, and then you hire like you know, external people, agencies, and so on and so on. So basically, it develops from like a lot of operational work and strategic work that you have to like do by yourself, also including let's say like creating content for the website, uploading products, product sourcing, pricing,
Yep.
New partnerships, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep.
From like more kind of putting a lot of trust in new people and basically steering a team and like leading the strategy and also like doing the quality checks, which is also really important to myself, because in the end, I want to make sure that everything, for example, that all the products are 100% plant-based, that they hit our quality standards, and that everything looks right,
Yep.
So that's really important to me. So basically, it's like a development from doing everything by yourself. I mean, that's how it works in a startup, right? From like growing a great team and making sure that you have the right people on your team. And so far, I mean, I love our team. It's amazing. We have so many great and inspirational people that work with us. I'm so grateful to work with a team like that. And also that you can like trust 100%.
Absolutely.
I personally think that's the most important thing when you work with a team, that you have trust in the people, and otherwise it's impossible to check on everything.
Absolutely.
Like it's impossible, and so you have to be able to trust your team and trust in what they do. And otherwise you go crazy.
Now, talking about a team and talking about Plantex, let's dive into that a little bit. Could you share with the My Future Business audience what Plantex actually is? Yeah,
sure. So to give you an idea of PlantX, it's we call ourselves actually the digital face of the plant-based community and the one-stop shop for everything plant-based.
Very good.
And when we say that, we very much mean it. So the idea is basically to have a massive e-commerce platform and all kind of plant-based products and services under one umbrella. And we already offer a couple thousand products on our website, plantx.com and plantx.ca.
Yep.
And either if people want plant-based groceries, we also offer meal delivery, cosmetics. We can basically create any vertical on our website. It also includes a meal delivery service, which I personally find super interesting and great for the ones that really don't have that much time for grocery shopping and cooking. And especially during these crazy times right now, it's also great that you have that option to get like a full like meal delivered to your doorstep.
Yeah, talk about timing. Now, I know that there's some exciting things going on in the background in terms of funding, expansions, shop fronts. I'm wondering if you can talk a little bit about all of these exciting things that are happening right now.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we just raised around 10 million Canadian at like $1.25, and that's super exciting for us. And sorry?
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And I mean, for us, we are obviously like looking into expansion, which is super important to us. We are actually about to open up a brick and mortar location in Israel, in Tel Aviv. So the funding will be used for that. Also, we just we acquired actually a company in the UK, which is a plant subscription service. Super interesting. Like the plant delivery services are exploding. Actually already since 3 years, but especially since the last year. I mean, everyone spends so much time at home at the moment, right? So you want to make your home as beautiful and nice as possible, and also like bring nature into your home, because like I said, you spend so much time at home. So this is a vertical. This is actually exploding. And so it was a really amazing and great strategic move to acquire Bloombox Club UK, which we also expanded recently into Germany. So we also got like the first footstep into the German market, which is for me personally also
very exciting.
Super exciting as a German. And we are also developing a user app, which you can imagine is quite expensive. And we are also looking into new potential strategic acquisitions. So we are super excited about this race, and we will make the best out of it for sure.
Julia, could you share a little bit about the Liv Marketplace? What's that?
Sorry?
The Liv Marketplace? Do you know much about that?
Oh, the Liv Marketplace.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
So I wasn't sure how to say it.
We call it Liv Marketplace. Actually, so we are about to open up a brick and mortar location in San Diego, which is part of the Liv Marketplace. So that's going to be super exciting. We are opening up this brick and mortar location very, very soon, which will be also used as our warehouse. So that's basically our warehouse for our e-commerce products, but also will be used as a brick and mortar location, so as like a plant-based store. Basically, we'll also have a cafe included, and you can also there's also like a little restaurant where you can get our plant-based meals. So I'm very, very excited about that.
Oh, look, I tell you what, you've made the best move ever, I think, coming over to Plantex. There's lots going on, very exciting news. Now, I'm just looking at some of the things that you've mentioned, and I think it's important to highlight that when you talk about plant-based, you've mentioned that it's not just foods, it's actual plants, but it's also can be PlantX fruit infused tequila. You've got the international distribution networks coming through, the online yoga and fitness section that I'm seeing here in the bio. There's so much going on.
This is still in our pipeline.
Yep.
But these are things or like projects that we are working on in 2021. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
Maybe I have to come back to your podcast in a couple of months.
Yeah.
We will have we have great things to come, and definitely enough to fill another probably 45 minutes to talk about that.
Quite easily. There's so much that we could talk about, and I really appreciate it. Now, there's also the investor side. I think this is an important thing to talk about. You have 2 tickers, is that right? 2 marketplace tickers. You got PlantX Life, which
actually is 3. So we are on the Canadian Stock Exchange under the symbol VEGA. It's VEGA. Mm-hmm. Then we are on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange under the symbol WNT1. And on the OTCQB under the symbol PLTXF.
Wow, you did well to remember all of those. Well, look, anybody who's on the call today, you've got an idea of what's actually happening here with PlantX. There's lots of excitement, lots of investment going on, and lots of opportunity to get involved with this. And not only that, to improve your lifestyle, your health and well-being through all of the wonderful products that are being offered by PlantX. Now, Julia, when people want to find Plantex, where is the best place for them to go as a consumer and an investor?
So it's plantx.com or plantx.ca. So we have both URLs, and so check out our e-commerce store. It's beautiful. Our CMO, our marketing chief, does an amazing job.
Yes, it is beautiful.
So I'm really happy about that. And in case you're interested in investing, we have an investors page. It's investor.plantx.com.
Thank you so much, Julia. What a wonderful experience I've had today on the show. And for everybody who's on the call with us today, no matter where you find this call, you will certainly find links back to Julia and her wonderful team at PlantX. And with all that being said, Julia, thank you so very much for spending some time with me on the My Future Business show today.
Thank you so much for having me, and stay healthy.
Thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed the call, then make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, share us with your friends, and book your spot on the show at myfuturebusiness.com/interviews. And if you're looking for solutions that will help grow your business, then visit myfuturebusiness.com/shop.